The Medieval Free developers did a live stream where they showed some new features, the return of some requested fan favorites, and the ways they're actually gonna revolutionize the game. They revealed the map size they're going for right now is approximately around Total War Attila size. So sorry to the people that expected India, China from the launch or something like that ain't happening. But who knows what the future holds. So this is applicable to the entire map, but for this showcase they wanted to focus on the Iberian Peninsula, because it's dense, it's tight, it's full of war, peasant revolts, religious issues, and better said religious warfare, dynastic links between the different kingdoms. So many of the ideas, the vision, the ambition behind Medieval Free can be seen in the Iberian Peninsula, so let's dive in. This actually shocked me quite a bit, and I'm sure a lot of you are gonna feel the same way. They confirmed there's not gonna be more provinces, Rome 2 style. Every settlement is gonna be a single region, it's gonna be the administrative capital, but wait, there's more. There are going to be rural developments happening all across the border of that settlement. So you can expect monasteries, lumber camps, mines, market villages, fishing villages. They can all pop up over time. You can see the population of your realm, and most importantly of all, you can manually place castles and ports. This has huge strategic value. Stopping invasions with smart planning? Yep, it's about to happen. And these forts are also going to increase control, so you also have the civic side to consider, not just the military aspect. So this is going to be like Empire Total War when it comes to the regional developments. They're going to be spread across the area of interest. You can upgrade them naturally. They can also grow over time. And right now they're exploring different ways to add dynamic, automatic growth. For example, as the population grows, you'd get to see the villages pop up and hey, you're happy, your kingdom is developing, you know, you see all the little peasants going to trade. Well, before some of them die inevitably, but that's the reality of life. This also ties into something very important. No more capped building slots. They realized it just doesn't work, it doesn't fit the spirit of the game essentially. Sure, you can create some awesome specialized provinces, but at the end of the day, it did restrict the player too much, and I completely agree with this. So now playing tall versus wide is going to be a very interesting decision, but they didn't abandon the slot concept completely on buildings. So for example, let's say the hunting lodge they showed, you can have different branching chains, what kind of stuff you want to specialize the building in, and if you invest into everything, you can just combine it for some mad money and whatever bonus it might have. You get to choose, do you want to focus on urbanization and encourage it, or do you want to focus more on developing your rural areas and the peasantry? Which brings us into population. It's finally back, and it's actually getting more depth than it's ever been. Yep, what you people wanted, you got it. So there's gonna be a dedicated stream on populations, but essentially, pops are the core of the game. This sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? They wanted to make sure the population is not just a number. It's gotta be important what they're doing and when they're doing it. When you muster peasants into an army, hey, look at that, suddenly your farms are not really getting work. If this army dies, the stack is wiped, that's gonna impact the population. So you're gonna actually lose a bunch of peasants and probably income with that. Death and migration, it also interacts. There are gonna be populations moving into your lands of different cultures and religions. Not just between regions, but from one rural to another rural land. They want it to be impactful. There's gonna be different estates. This is just an early showcase once again. But the main building blocks, the peasantry, the townsfolk, and the nobility. It's important how they interact with each other, and they've even mentioned recruitment. Obviously, nobles are gonna go into knights, but losing them, you're actually gonna feel it like you've lost a kidney on the black market. Peasantry, on the other hand, is a lot more numerous. It's gonna hurt the economy, but at least you don't care militarily that much. Now, they presented an interesting dilemma. Do you want to focus on growing the nobility, how it ties into the economy, or do you want to focus on the rural economy? Now, one interesting thing, if your nobility gets strong enough, they might actually start constructing things on their own. So obviously there's going to be different religions, there's going to be different cultures, and they all interact with the units you'll be able to recruit, and they have ties to the estates. Also, construction is impacted by that, and the game's mechanics. Also going to be interesting to see what are you going to prioritize on, because once again, they all form an important building block of your kingdom or empire. They're still trying to figure out the economic hooks between the different populations, but they're all gonna interplay, and you're also gonna have to decide at some points where you're gonna prioritize. And since we all love money, now it's time to talk about income. So, income is separate between region wealth and, well, your income. So, region wealth is the value of everything inside that one specific region. Who would have thought, right? The administrative center, all the complementary buildings. You can tax it even more, but you also have to protect it from the enemy so they don't raid it, because region wealth is actually fluctuating. And it also funds the supply train for your army. Yup, you heard it, supplies are in the game. It's gonna be important to decide how you're gonna tax your people, because this time it's more than just a slider. Because going elbow deep into the piggy bank that your region wealth is might not be the best thing. Sometimes, come on, we're still greedy. The regular total war tax is percentage based, but they're going to add other things like tributes as an example, which are tied into the makeup of the region. Everything is taken into consideration. Different buildings, farms, market towns. It's not gonna be just about moving a slider from one end to the next. It's all gonna change how it calculates, essentially. And depending on your faction or technology research, you can actually find new ways to oppress the peasants. With these systems and plenty of others to be revealed in the future, instead of them just sitting together in the background, not really interacting with each other, they wanted to make something that ties them all together and make them all dynamically interact, because this is how you make a good game. This is just the tip of the iceberg. Remember, don't take it with a grain of salt, take it with an ocean of salt, okay? But it's great that they're communicating with the community, the fan base, the haters, everything from essentially even before the start to the end. I hope you enjoyed this brief news recap. Stay tuned, because there's going to be a lot more medieval free coverage, as well as wacky videos, historical videos, informative videos. You name it, I got it, or I'll have it. So until the next time,